Hi, Rosario, good evening.
Hi, Miss. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm kind of stressful because I have a homework, but I'm not accomplished. I not achieve it. So yes, it's like I don't know how it works that homework, and that is stressful for me.
Oh, I hope
Do
you
it.
can do it. Yes, I hope you can. Yes, I guess that's the best phrase that we can hear.
Yes.
So, you sent me a picture.
Yes. The
You're
picture.
going to.
I
Oh,
entered
before
in the um account that the coordinator gave me, but um I don't know. You sent me a link, right? A code for to enter a course, but mm, I don't know. When I tried to enter in the course, it says please check later. Now it's like Rosario Huaranca 1406. It's like is this?
yes, that's your course. That's your course. You have to click. You have to double click where it says a course. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the upper part, I'm going to share my screen with you. In
Yes,
this part,
I
we're going to
just
click it.
okay.
So, okay, in the right side, okay, it is an option where it says join course. Is
Yes,
it?
miss. I sent you a picture, and I think I am in the enter. I am in the
Oh,
course.
okay, yes, you're here, you're here, you're already here. I'm going to check it. As you can see, we have lots of courses with your name. So I'm going to, okay, yes, that's the last one. So, do you remember until what part we stopped?
Um.
Mm. Oh, yes, you're here. You're already in the course.
Yay. Okay.
That's cool.
Mm, the
Okay, so
other.
we have to hurry up with the homework.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Okay. Okay, that's a big problem. No, we're in a big problem. Okay, so we've seen verb tense review, yes, no question, tough questions, I mean, verb plus object and infinitive, hot lead, the passive, quantifiers, gerunds, and infinitives. Okay, I'm going to assign you directly the quiz, and it implies everything. Okay.
Okay, miss.
Oh yes. Okay. Do you remember the last lesson we've seen?
The last lesson.
Reciprocal pronouns.
What?
I guess it was reflexive and reciprocal pronouns,
Yes,
right?
yes, miss. It's okay.
Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Yes, that's good.
that's it.
Okay. So okay, I'm going to assign you the homework. Okay, but only the grammar part because then we have. I was reviewing and we have things that were Pearson don't grade and I grade in classes. Okay, so yes, that will be. And I'm going to assign you. Give me a second. Okay. I want to say, okay. No. And this is going to be your last quiz. Okay. So I'm assigning you directly the quiz. Okay.
Okay, miss.
So you're going to have today we're on Friday. So from tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday until Wednesday to finish, please, because then we're going to finish the last part of this of the last part of the three grammar parts we have two. So yes, that will be okay. So it is already assigned, and that will be okay. So now we're going to start. Okay, so we're going to see models of possibility and probability, but in the past. So we're going to have a new structure. Well, not a new structure. It is like, how can we say, like a combination between two time tenses. Okay, so there is nothing new in this part. Okay, we already know how to use might, could, may. We've seen that the other class. Okay,
Okay, Miss.
so let's listen the audio.
Hi. Someone just said hello to me. I can't remember how we know each other. She might have been a college classmate, or I could have met her at a party. Might have and could have are modals of possibility and probability in the past. I'm using these because I'm guessing about something that has already happened. Let's learn about them.
Okay, let's see what we have in this lesson. Let's start. Okay, so we're going to see the structure. Okay, what is important, the important part of this, because we can say that that's the newest part in this lesson, because as I told you, we already learned how to use modals and then, okay. So this structure, as I told you, it's not a new one, okay, but yes, we have, it is a combination. So let's see, what is this point number one talking about?
We use modals of possibility and probability in the past to talk about things that possibly or probably happened. We form these modals with modal plus have plus the past participle of the verb.
Amy did great work. She must have been proud of herself.
Okay, so we're going to see that well, of course, we already omit the subject because we know that it is always there. So we're going to use the subject, okay. Then we're going to use a modal, okay. We're going to continue with have, okay. I'm not going to change have, okay. I'm not going to modify it. So it is a modal and the have. So this is something that I can't touch. The only thing that I can touch is must, because for example, if I want to change instead of must, I want to use may, might, could, can, for example, okay? So this, yes, we can modify. Other thing that we can't modify, we cannot, oh, sorry. Okay, we cannot modify is the verb, okay? I'm sorry, that we can modify is the verb in its participle form. So you can choose whatever verb you want, but it needs to be in a past participle form. Amy did a great work. Notice that we are talking about the past. When are we going to use this structure? In the past, to express an ability or possibility that took place in the past, okay? What else do we have? Okay. Okay, so we're going to use this structure, okay, to express a possibility and probability, the modals, to talk about things that possibly or probably happened. Okay, so I have a theory and I guess it happened at some point in the past. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, so let's continue. So she must have been proud of herself. Okay, so that's something that I think could happen. Okay, that's a possibility. I guess that happened. That's the context of it. Okay, that's a probability. That's a probably action that happened in the past. So as you can see, this structure goes very well with we want to express something in the past. Okay. So there are people that they say that we actually use the present perfect tense because it looks like, okay, but because of the rule of the modal, because remember when we use a modal we need to use the base form of the verb. Okay, so notice that I'm not changing. I'm talking in third person. I'm using the third person, but my verb have it is still like that. I'm not going to touch it. Okay, so that's the reason why it is in a chart, because I cannot touch. Okay, so you only have to remember the modal. Okay, they have that I can touch it, and the verb in the participle form, whatever verb you want. Okay, there is no problem. So let me check something. She must have been proud. Debió haber estado, ok, sí. Ella debió haber estado, participle, orgullosa de sí misma. That would be maybe the conjugation we have in Spanish, so that's going to help you as a guide, okay? As you can see, the context is in the past. Is there any question until this part, maybe?
No, Miss, but for example, in the meaning, there is no really big change, right? If I use she must have been proud of herself, or she what is the other? She has how is
With the model,
yes, with the model she might be proud of
no,
herself.
well, if we're going to take, we're going to still using the model must, so it would be something like she must be, that's all. She must be proud of herself, but it has a context. Remember that must is for present, okay? Well, we're going to say that must, okay? It doesn't have a time tense, okay? For example, there is no past of must. There is not the past form of must, okay? So as it implies a rule, as it implies obligation, and then so it is like the simple present tense, okay? So the correct one, or we're going to change this into the present because this is in the past, okay? This is in the past form. So if we're going to change this into the present tense, it would be something like she must be. Ella debería estar o debe estar orgullosa. Eso es todo. Pero si yo digo she must have been, hay una gran diferencia porque está en pasado. ¿Ok? No es lo mismo que diga ella debe estar orgullosa que ella debió haber estado orgullosa de ella misma. So, yes, there is a difference, and it is a time tense. The context of the situation it changed. There's a big difference. But must doesn't have a specific time tense. En realidad, must no tiene un tiempo verbal fijo, es decir, must es solamente como can, por ejemplo. Can es solamente para presente y futuro, pero must no, porque must más que todo utilizamos para cosas que no deberías o deberías hacer, ¿ok? Para reglas, obligaciones. Entonces, cuando yo digo, if I'm going to publish my announcement in my restaurant, I'm going to say, you must not smoke here, okay? But it doesn't have a time tense. It is not for the past. It is only for the present and the future, for example, okay? So it is very wide, okay? It's wide. So yes, that will be. Do you get it?
Yes, Miss, I get it. So the last meaning, it was debió haber, right? I was considered only debió.
Oh, en realidad si podríamos decir debió, bueno, si tendríamos que decir debió, es en pasado, ¿ok? Pero tendría que ser sí o sí con esta estructura, ¿ok? So, yes, that will be. She must have been proud. Debió haber estado, debió haber visto, debió haber viajado, ¿ok? Nuestra María debió haber viajado, por ejemplo, ¿ok?
Okay.
So, yes, but must doesn't have must is not for the, we can say that must is for the present and the future could be, because as I told you, it implies obligations, and then so when I state an obligation for all my class, it's not for the past, okay, it's for now, okay? Meanwhile, you're in the class, so you have to follow this, okay? So yes, that will be, do you get it?
Yes, Miss, I get it.
Okay, I'm not sure if I got, could you repeat your point of view?
Oh no, my point of view, it was that the meaning, it doesn't really change. There isn't a big change in in use of past and present in the meaning, but I was only considered that it was like she must have been, but in the meaning I was considered only that ella debió and not ella debió haber. And I think there is some few moral difference in that. So yes, I think it's okay.
Okay, well, as I told you, yes, as I told you, must is not for the past, okay, only the must, only the modal must and the verb, the base form of the verb, the basic form we learned, okay, because if I'm going to translate must, for example, she must be proud, okay, that's all, she must be proud, ella debe estar orgullosa, okay, o debería tal vez puede ser otro significado, ok, pero no hay pasado solamente de must y el verbo en su forma base. Ok, si quiero utilizar must, bueno, si quiero dar ese contexto de pasado, ¿sabes? De debió haber hecho esto, ella debió, no, ella debería estar orgullosa. Sí, porque es futuro. Ella debería estar orgullosa, es futuro, es presente, ajá, presente simple. Ajá. Pero pasado de más, no hay el pasado de más. Es solo para el presente y para el futuro, es decir, para el ahora más que todo, ¿ok? Porque claro, eso es más que todo obligación, cosas que no están permitidas o que están permitidas de ser, entonces es en el momento de, a partir de las 10:30 está prohibido el uso de celulares, es decir, ahorita mismo, ¿ok? Mientras que esté en clases. Al salir de clases ya pueden utilizar el celular, por ejemplo. ¿Ok? Entonces, tal vez si yo quisiera utilizar deberías estar o debió haber estado orgullosa, sería cambiar de modal, porque el más no daría para pasar. A no ser que ya conjugue con must have been. Ahí sí, totalmente, se puede totalmente aceptable utilizar el pasado. ¿Ok? Entonces, she must be proud, debería estar orgullosa o debe estar orgullosa. She must have been, debería haber estado orgullosa. Incluso si te fijas, debería haber estado orgullosa. Este debería se mantiene en presente, ¿ok? Pero como ya está con otra conjugación verbal, vamos a decir el have y el verbo en participio, ya cambia al pasado, ¿ok? Entonces, por sí mismo el modal no tiene pasado. Uh-huh. So yes, do you get it now?
Yes, Miss, thanks.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to continue with the next point. And well, what we're going to see now is the same, okay? Lo que vamos a ver a continuación es lo mismo, ya lo que habíamos visto en la anterior clase, es decir, no cambia, en realidad lo único que cambia es el pasado, ¿ok? Deberías y, bueno, debes, podríamos cambiarlo por debió, tal vez, ¿ok? Pero es lo mismo que hemos visto, es decir, todos los modales que vamos a ver, no hay nada nuevo. Lo único nuevo es que es en pasado, ¿ok? Porque el uso de las posibilidades y probabilidades de que algo llegue a pasar es lo mismo, ¿ok? Lo único nuevo es la estructura. So, let's take a view.
Must have expresses probability. We use must have or the contraction must have when we're almost 100% sure that something was true.
I must have left my briefcase in the office. I'm almost certain that's where it is.
Again, this is one of the strongest, yes, we can say that is the strongest model we have, okay, as I told you the other class. I must have left my briefcase in the office, okay, I'm almost certain, and you can see the context, I'm almost certain. We have a probability, okay, because that was I only was in my office today morning, so there is no way that I left it in another place, for example, my car could be, but I think yes, I'm 100% sure that it's in my office, okay, but the situation already happened, okay, it is in the past. I must have left. Okay. My briefcase in the office. I'm almost certain that's what it is. Okay, I must have left. Again, we're using the modal. Okay, the have that we cannot touch, and the verb in its participle form. Okay. The other, well, in this case, we can translate it something like debí haber dejado maleta en la oficina. Debí haber dejado. In this case, yes, as you can see, by itself, the verb, the modal verb must can't be for the past, but when I'm going to add another structure, okay, and this structure is going to help me to see or to give the context that something had already happened. So then, yes, it is very well used, okay? So that's important to know, okay? The verb by itself doesn't mean something in the past, okay? But yes, when we're going to conjugate into the past, we have to use this structure, okay? Again, must is one of the strongest modals we have, okay? So, do you have any question until this part?
No, miss, it's okay.
Amazing. Let's continue. Okay, so you're going to pay attention to this pronunciation. It's a little bit difficult, okay? So it's up to you if you're going to use it, because I have many of my students that they prefer use the whole phrase, okay, the whole structure instead of this, because it's a little bit difficult, okay? But let's listen, pay attention to the pronunciation.
May have, might have, and could have express possibility. We use may have, might have, or could have, or the contractions may have, might have, or could have, when we're less sure that something was true.
We might have seen each other around campus.
Or we may have been in a class together.
Yeah, it could have been last semester.
Okay, so we already know the use of may. May means, or it has a 70% of chance, and might has 40% of chance. Okay, so could have is it's the past of can. Okay, so could have. These three models express possibilities. Okay, and in this case, okay, so we focus more in the past again, right? Because that's the point of, and we actually use contractions: made, might have, could have. Okay. When we're less sure that something was true, okay, notice in the other lesson we have when something is true, but in this case, when something was true, okay, in the past, we might have seen each other around the campus, okay, or may have been in a class together, or it could have been last semester. Podría haber, yes, it could have been last semester. It could have been, podría haber estado el último semestre. Okay. So as you can see, there are many ways to conjugate with other verbs in its participle form, and it is necessary to. Okay. So yes, what else can we say? If you want, okay, that's what I told you. You have the option to use a contraction. Okay. The only thing that is different here, okay, is that we don't pronounce the last letter E. Okay, so it goes, but we pronunciate the letter B. Okay, may, might, could. Okay, so it is with a little more practice, yes, we can do it, but it is a little bit difficult to do it, okay, because we don't have words in Spanish like that. We don't have that kind of pronunciation in Spanish, but it is possible. So as you feel comfortable with the usage or the pronunciation of it is going to, okay. Okay, so there is no problem. Again, the possibilities are the same. Okay, the only thing that we're doing is the past, a past possibility, a past probability. Okay, we are less sure that something was true. Okay, and we have the opposite. Again, similar to the other lesson. We have can't have and couldn't have. So let's listen the audio.
We use can't have or couldn't have when we're almost 100% sure that something was impossible.
It couldn't have been in a journalism class. I'm taking acting classes.
Okay, so we have the strongest, okay, one of the strongest models, can't and could, okay? So, okay, give me a second. I want to check something. We use can't have. Okay, so in this case, we have the opposite, can have and couldn't have, when we're almost 100% sure that something was impossible. Okay, for example, it couldn't have been in a journalism class. I'm taking acting classes. Okay, in this case, we have the negative, couldn't, okay, couldn't have been, okay. No debió haber estado en una clase de journalism, okay. I'm taking acting classes, okay. So we are almost 100% sure that something was impossible in the past again, okay. So yes, that will be. Is there any question until this part? Do you get it?
Yes, Miss, I get it. It's something similar like we already seen, right?
Yes, yes. The only thing that, as I told you, okay, we've seen this lesson, but the only thing we are doing is adding, if you can, okay, because we sometimes forget the structure, okay, especially in this because we have the modal and we have the other the have in part the participle form of the verb. We can say, okay, that it is this part, okay, having it is considered the present perfect.
Yes, it's really similar.
Yes, what is the difference? For sure, the only difference, okay, we have here is that it is in the past, okay, but something important, remember with the present perfect, we have two auxiliaries, have and has. The third person, okay, plural and singular, okay? But here, if I'm going to talk, let's take a view. This subject is in third person, okay? So in the present perfect, I should say it has been, okay? But something different happened in this part. As I'm using a modal, I'm going to follow the rule of the model. And it says that when I'm going to use a modal, in this case, could, for example, could, should, would, ought to, have to, might, may, and whatever modal it is, we have to use it with the base form of the verb. So as we're going to follow this structure, so that's the reason, because wherever it is or not, okay, have is an auxiliary, okay, but it is a verb. It is an auxiliary verb. So as it is a verb, I have to use it in the base form, okay? So she couldn't have, like that. It's impossible to say she couldn't has. No, I'm not going to follow the present perfect rule. I'm going to follow the modal rule. The modal and the base form of the verb. And that's all. So because then this part, okay, specifically this part, it is the present perfect sentence. Mhm.
Okay.
So, yes, that will be your guide. Okay, so remember, if it's the past, if I want to talk about a possibility and probability, whatever it is, possibility or probability in the past or the opposite, I'm going to take the model, the specific models we have, may, might, could, can, in must, and the negative for each one. And then I'm going to continue with the present perfect tense. That's the reason of why it is not considered as a present perfect, because we broke the rule of the present perfect here. Okay. So for that reason, we have it is have plus being. Oh, sorry, it is have plus the verb in its participle form. Okay, because it is not the present perfect at all. Okay, not at all. Mhm. So,
Okay.
do you get it now? Is it better?
Yes, miss. It's better. Thanks. I usually forget what when you told me that for example in present perfect structure idiomas when you and so on when we for example you told me that when we add the have or has, it's like when we add in Spanish. So yeah, it really helped me, but I usually forget that. I try to
Yes,
practice or to have that I don't know, by directional thing in order to improve. Yes.
yes, that's going to help you as a guide, because to tell the truth, because I had teachers and all of them, they told me we don't have to translate, and it's okay, we don't have to translate, it's better, okay, and I don't have doubts on it, because I've learned French and I've learned well, I'm a Quechua, so when we continue, okay, so today I'm going to, from this moment to that moment, okay, I'm going to speak English, okay, so that automatically my brain starts thinking on the language. If it is French, French. If it is Quechua, it is Quechua, okay, so but something that helps me, okay, and because I'm constantly learning, and we never stop learning, even from the students. Okay, they always say, for example, oh, but I think it's this one. No, teacher, you forgot this, or this one, or this. No, this is not like that. So we never stop learning. Okay, so that's like a guide, because I think that it is like at the moment you speak English, okay, your brain automatically starts thinking, well, must be thinking in the language, okay? So that's going to help you as a guide, okay? So try to do it day per day and try to think on English. That's important, okay? Um, so don't try not to translate, but in these kind of things, okay, in these time tenses, as a guide, yes, we can do it, but not always. It is not recommendable, but yeah, as I told you, it is only a guide, okay? So yes, because we also, I had the subject at University of Translation, okay? So we've seen that, and we translate, we translate, that's all that we do. That's a translation, but it is terrible. It is a
Yes.
terrible subject. Okay, because we don't have some things we don't have in our language, and then so yes, it sometimes looks a little bit difficult to do it, but try to think in the language. What does it mean? Okay, it means that when you're going to say, okay, from this till that, I'm going to think in English. No language, no, I'm sorry, no language, no Spanish, no more. Okay, so if you want to say something, your brain starts thinking on it. It's difficult. It's not easy. Okay. Because when I say think on English, it is like think in English. It is like in, so I
I
have
don't
to
know
think.
English. Yes.
Okay, so it is funny, but as we practice them or we're speaking and more things like that, yes, it is a little bit more easy to do it. So the only
Yeah.
thing is that you have to tell to your brain. You have to, yes, you have to tell to your brain, okay? You have to tell your brain. So from this moment, you're going to think in English. That's all. And yes, I guess that's weird, but it helps me.
Probably
Even
when you have said some level in English, it's better to start to translate in order only to improve, but you have the base to, I don't know, to think in English. For example, at the CBA, it was really common that it was prohibited to think in Spanish, and if you have, I don't know, some questions y demás, it was really difficult, but it gets you to accustomed to think in English. Yes.
okay. If you want to say even más, we use and then. Okay, that's a beautiful one. And then,
And then, okay.
puedes decir también luego, okay? So you're going to do your homework then. Okay, so vas a hacer tu tarea luego o después. Okay, so it's an expression, it is an expression. And that's true. We think that it is easy, but yes, but if you, even though, when I used to teach to children, and they were very smart, even if they were not paying attention, so they were like that. They were so fast. And it is because I said, okay, since this moment, no Spanish, okay? And they were like, Miss, how can I say to this? And they were moving their bodies. And I said, okay, I guess I get it. If you don't know the meaning, that's something true. If you don't know how to say something in the language you're learning, try to use other words. We have synonyms, or try to use another type of conjugation. Okay. So for example, if I want to say embarrassed, kind of synonym, we can say shy. Okay. So don't focus on that, because if you're going to do it, then it's going to be difficult to do it. Okay. If you're on focus, for example, I want to say this, but I don't know how to say in English. Oh my goodness, how was it? No, and that's going to be terrible, because you're not going to, that's going to be stressful for you. In the other hand, try to use other words. Okay, we have lots of words. The point is that the person you're talking to is able to understand you. So that's all. Okay.
That's the point of the vocabulary, right? How can I try to improve my vocabulary? Because there is some words I was trying to learn some new words, because in the TOEFL I think you have to use more some, I don't know, difficult words in order to sound, I don't know, more better in English. And for example, I try to read a dictionary, and there is some words that I don't consider that it was helpful. And other way to try that I used to, it was to read Oxford most common languages, or most common phrases, I think. And it wasn't really helpful too. So I'm not sure how is the best way to learn helpful vocabulary.
Okay, before to continue, we have there are. Okay, you said there is words.
Okay. Sorry, miss. There are.
So it was supposed to be words. There are words because we have plural. And
Yes.
okay, so good question. It's up to each student to tell the truth, because, for example, I had a student. I really loved this girl. She was very sweet. And she was one of my difficult students that I had, because she couldn't understand,
Okay.
So then I used to say, "Is there any question?" And no, miss, it's clear. And she has a will to learning. Okay, on learning. Okay, so then when I saw the quiz she took, and it was like, no, my goodness, I want to die because the grades were not that good. Okay, and I said,
Okay.
how was her name? Paola, I guess she was Paola. Yes, yes. She was 19 years old. She was a baby. No. 18 years old. She was a baby. So I said, okay, so what is the problem? And she said, Miss, I have many things to do, and but and she was near to leave the class. Mhm. She
Okay.
was near to quit
To abandon
the
it.
English.
Yes.
Exactly. So one day I said, okay, so what is going on with you? So we need to speak. We need to discuss. I don't know if it's my problem or if it's my fault or if it's yours. And she said, Miss, when we're in classes, I understand you. But then when I want to do the homework, my brain starts disappearing. So I don't know how to do it. So
Okay.
I said, okay, maybe it's not the best way to learn. Okay, so then I said, okay, I have to do something, and I recommend her to watch movies, Disney movies. Mhm. So I said, okay, for tomorrow you're going to bring the summarize of this movie and the how it is the comment you have about this video. And she said, okay, okay. So she started doing that. Okay, and her English improved a lot. Then at the end of the course, because she took a quiz on she's in the Católica University.
Okay.
When she started, okay, she got a 20 out of 100 of a score. And then at the end of it, I was scared. And I said, oh my goodness, I hope she can do it. And then as we practice and practice and practice, and I was like, no, again. And in some days, there were some days when I was very stressed because it was difficult. It was difficult, and I understand because not everybody, not all of us understand at the same level of English. Okay,
Yes.
so for example, if you're going to teach me maths, I'm not going to understand. No, I can't. I can't with maths. It's impossible for me. So that's the reason why I understand her. So that's not her best way, for example, her best subject. And then,
Yes.
as we still practicing, then she took the quiz and she got 95 out of 100. Okay. So
Oh,
she didn't take the subject at the university because she passed the quiz. She only took one course more because she need to guard, I guess, 100 if I'm not wrong, something like that, you know. But
mhm.
she said, I thank you, Miss, because I thought that I was silly, okay, and I felt bad because she cried. I remember she cried once, and she said, "No, I can't." And I said, "No, yes, you can. You're going to do it. You're going for it." So yes, that was a little bit difficult. And why did I said or why did I tell you this story? Because I don't know what is your best way of learning. Okay, so that's something that you have to discover, but something that it is very helpful most of the times for my students is choose a subject. Okay, try doing this. Choose a subject, and I guess I told you. Okay, for
Okay.
example, today you are going to speak to you. You are going to speak yourself, looking at the mirror, and you are going to choose one topic, a difficult topic, biology topic, for example. Or no, you're going to watch the news on CNN. Meanwhile, you are eating, you're having breakfast, and then so you are going to summarize that news you've seen, and you are going to see that you don't understand most of the meanings, okay, of the words, and it is okay. It's normal. So try to take whatever subject it is, but not an easy subject. Okay, so what do I do every day? No, that's easy. That's basic English. Okay.
Yes, miss,
So
that was my problem. You gave me that how is the word for consejo?
advice.
Okay, you give me that advice when I ask you how can I improve my speaking, and I was trying, but that was the problem because I don't want to I don't know, to learn words in a quotidian way. I want to learn words in scientific way. So
Mhm.
yes, that like hard English, like scientific articles
Oh,
in,
okay.
yes. And
Uh,
I don't know how can I um how is the word for filtrar?
what is the whole word you want to say?
Como escoger, yes. How can I pick the right words
Yes. How can I
to
choose?
learn? Yes.
Okay, that's important. That's important. Well, I'm going to say something. It is important. If you want to get a high speech of English, okay, you need to understand. You need to have a good comprehension on your level. Okay, so how do I recognize? For example, if you have problems of conjugating the verb be, for example, then you are not able to get that part, that scientific articles to understand, for example, So we
Oh,
have to go step by step, because if you don't get your level, okay,
mhm.
if you don't get the lesson, the subject, you have to add your level. If you're still with problems, for example, we had a problem the other day with one of the students. This girl lives in the US, okay, she lives there for 2 years. And I said, okay, so we're going to follow this method. This is my method of teaching. And she said, but I live here in the US for 2 years, so I'm ready to take the TOEFL test. And I said, it is not the same. Okay. So she
Okay.
said, no, it's like that. And you know what she sent me? I'm going to write into the chat.
Okay.
Okay, she sent me this. I will talk. And I said, my goodness, you want to take the TOEFL, but you don't know how to conjugate this phrase. Oh, no. So everything goes step by step. So you want to go to that high level, you have to
Know the basis.
exactly. Okay. So you are not going to run if you don't know how to walk. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the problem. So yes, that will be okay. But something that I would recommend, you are your level, because I consider that we are near to get that level, okay, but we are still on it, okay.
Okay.
Do you have a Spotify?
Yes, I have Spotify. I don't usually use it, but yes, I have.
Okay, you're going to find podcasts of whatever you want, okay. You're going to find podcasts in English. Here is CNN audio, okay. You have everything here. It's incredible. Okay, so you're going to, for example, the Prince, oh my goodness, the Prince mixtape. Okay,
Okay.
so it has an introduction, for example. Let's listen. Oh, at what time is going to play
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk through this thing called life. Specifically, the life, the music, and the legacy of the purple one, his royal badness, Prince.
Okay, as you can see, there is everything. It is very interesting. Okay, then we have other things. So you have like a kind of podcast, and it is not that long. It lasts 30 minutes, for example. Okay,
Okay.
so then we also have different kind of podcasts. Very scary people. Then you have, this is like a more scientific, and I don't like it. I don't like scientific articles. It's not for me.
Okay.
But maybe it could be for you. Okay. So for
Okay.
example, we have this, and it's incredible. So as soon as you hear that's something true, we learn more as humans when we listen. Okay. There are studios made for different universities where they say that it's better if we listen first. Okay, so you're going to say, and what was this word? What is the meaning of this word? So you're going to Google it right now, for example. Okay, so maybe the listening and the speaking with the grammar, oh my goodness, that's the best combination. So in one hand, you're going to practice with difficult subjects. For example, okay, today I'm going to talk about, I don't know, about biology. How
Okay.
is it, or some, I don't know, something that I really like, it's lessons from our body, and then, oh, there is one that I used to, yes, how is it? TED Talks, I don't know if you listen about it.
Yes, I try to listen this, but yeah, and I love it. But I have a problem that I am commonly really understand what I read and what I listen in, I don't know, 90%. So I can get it, the idea, but it doesn't really help me to improve my vocabulary, because I listen, okay, I understand, but when I try to talk, for example, I've never what is memorize it, or I never remember it. Yes, that's the word.
Oh, okay, so you're going to maybe, okay, the problem is that you understand, and that's something true. When you're good, that's very common, okay? And you know, people, and they say, I can understand English, but I can't speak.
Yes.
You know, the problem is the vocabulary, okay? Because you have the grammar. You already have the grammar. We've seen the basic grammar. We've
Yes.
seen the intermediate grammar. So grammar is not a problem for you. It shouldn't be a problem for you. The problem is the vocabulary, okay? And think in English, that's the best part, okay? So if you have that level where you understand, for example, because in TED Talk we also have subjects about medical ones, okay? So if you're at that level, try with CNN. Yes, that's my best recommendation. They have a high level vocabulary, and then in some cases you're not going to understand because it's something about news, okay? There are scientific articles if you're interested on, and then so try to watch or try to listen the audio, okay? You already have the page, it is CNN audio. And then what else? You're going to summarize, okay? That's important. Summarize what you've heard. If you only listen and listen, okay, you're going to say, okay, I understand. That's all. What else? But if you only do that, you're not going to improve. So my best advice is that listen to the audio, okay, from CNN. You have to do your own summarize of the audio and do your comment. That's the best way to learn, because you're going to say, my goodness, how was that word? Okay, I'm going to listen again, for example, or I'm going to take my notes. So I'm going to take the most important words. Okay, so they're talking about this and this and this and this. Okay, so I'm going to take them, take the points, and then you're going to summarize. And it's going to be that easy. Not that easy, because there are words that we don't understand at all. If you don't understand, look for the sources, different sources we have. So then you're going to understand that. Okay?
Okay, Miss. Yes, I forgot that part to really summarize. Yeah, I can try it. Probably it works for me. Yes, I
Yes,
tried it.
it is very interesting. You're going to see a new word because we think that we know it, and it's for sure. To teachers, it's all sometimes happens. So okay. So as I told you, we never stop learning. So as soon as you start practicing the comprehension, and it goes together, you're practicing your comprehension. You're
Mhm.
practicing your listening. You're practicing your speaking. So it is incredible. Okay.
Okay.
So
And
yes, do it please for, I don't know, this weekend if you have time, because I'm not that long. It's going to take you an hour, for example.
yes.
So try to listen the audio, take notes, summarize it, important point. Summarize it, take the new words that you don't understand, Google it from different sources, Oxford Dictionary, and give your own opinion. I think that I disagree with this point because blah, 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 blah. Mhm.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, miss, I get it. But I have one question more.
Mhm.
You have the experience, the whole experience in teaching and to knowing, I don't know, the level of English of someone. What do you think that it's my disappointments in English? So, how is your detecting in what is my faults in English? So yes, I don't know if you
Uh,
get it.
about you?
Yes.
Oh, I guess you have a good level of English. Yes. I really like it because I can recognize, okay, when a student has the will of learning, la voluntad de aprender, okay. So that's something that it's important in you, okay. So we were discussing this with I have one other student, and I said, you remember me to this student that I have, Rosario. She's like you because she likes to know more and more and more, and I want to know this and this and this. And I was like, you're too, okay. And this is important. Something that I would like to recommend you is the grammar part, okay? I think that's important, the grammar part. I think that you have the idea in your mind, okay? So your brain has the idea, okay, I have this idea. But when it is your idea is continuing the process of going to your mouth. I guess
Okay.
you have that problem that you don't know what kind of words are you going to use. Okay,
Okay.
so you have many ideas, then you don't know how to develop them. That I guess that's your that's the characteristic, that's the important part that you have to improve. Okay, and it works or it happens, okay, because we have to improve the grammar part. Okay, and maybe I guess. And the vocabulary is okay though. It's okay, the vocabulary is okay. I would say that maybe the grammar part in those little things, okay? And I think, okay, because I saw many cases like this, the
Okay.
problem is that you are not involved in the language at all. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to think in English. That's the reason I told you a moment ago. You have to think in English because I guess you are trying to translate that point where your idea is coming to your mouth. Okay, blah blah blah, blah, and it goes and it is stopped. So near when your idea comes to your mouth, so then you have to translate it. So I think that's the thing that is being a problem for you. Okay.
Okay.
Then you think in Spanish, but you have to do it. You have to take this phrase out of your mouth in English. Okay, so
Yes.
in the period you do that, in that
Mhm.
period, okay, when I have the idea, quiero, o soy un doctor, ok, pasa por toda mi cabeza y al momento que quiero hablar, ¿cómo era que se decía yo soy un doctor en inglés? Ok, quiero ser doctor. Entonces, en esta transición de querer, de tener una idea y de pasarla, ok, al otro idioma, se traduce. Y lastimosamente pasa con otros idiomas, ¿ok? I remember that when I was learning French, my teacher, my professor always said, oh my goodness, Anna, what are you doing? Think on French. And I was like, okay, I'm going to think on French. And I did it, and it works. And so from that, if I have problems, for example, in some cases, some little problems, okay? But then, yes, so yeah, I think that that's the thing that you have to improve. So if maybe, yes, I think that would be, because you're fluently, it's okay, it's very good. You have a fluent English. Maybe that part, maybe you thinking in Spanish and then you want to translate it. I guess that's the problem. I don't know if I'm okay.
Yes, Miss. Okay, thank you. Yes,
Okay, so
yes, I
um,
try to improve them. It's really helpful to give me that feedback. Because I noticed some of them recommended, because for example, I try to express something in English, but I have some problems in not really in translate, because I was thinking of how is the problem in when I don't really express what I want. And it's like I don't know how to express them even in Spanish. So I think I can try to improve them in Spanish too, because there is some things that I don't want to don't I can express in Spanish, and I want to express in English. Probably.
yes, when you're going to have the language a little bit more developed, you're going to have this problem. You want to say something in Spanish, but you don't know how to, but you have the idea in English. So it is the opposite. So we want to take that level. It is amazing when you and it is not because you forgot the language, because that's the way our brain works. Okay. So for example, if you want to think on something, or you want to say, the other day I want to say something in Spanish, but I remembered how to do it in English, but not in my own language. Yes, so it is, and I asked to my colleagues and my partners, and they said, yes, it happens. You are not going to believe it, how frequently it is. So my best recommendation, okay, if you want to improve that part, the grammar part, the CNN podcasts are going to help you, and the summarize that it is the most important, because in that part you practice everything, and that helped me too. That helped me too. Don't think that I took classes and that was all. No, I practice a lot, and I'm still on it. I'm still on it. So I always ask my professors in this part, and they say, "Oh my goodness, I know who is going to ask." Okay, what is your question, for example? Okay. So
Okay.
yes, you have to get that level. Okay, so we're going to do something. So you're going to take the CNN podcast, okay, wherever you want. For example, we have a podcast on that's very beautiful in CNN. It's about the Diana princess. So it is very beautiful. Okay, so try with that. We have new words and then, so you're going to bring it, or what if you want, you can choose other lesson or topic. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to launch the book. So you're going to choose whatever topic, whatever subject you want. So you are going to summarize and you're going to let me know what was it about. Okay. So then, yes, that will be.
Okay, Miss.
Okay.
Yes, can you give me, or can you send me the link later, please? Of the podcast of Princess Diana, I think.
Yes, the Diana princess. Yes, I already sent you. Okay, so there you have it. So please watch it. Oh, watch it. Listen to it and summarize. Practicing it. Practice speaking with yourself in the mirror. It's going to be helpful because you're going to say, "Oh, how was it? how can I say it? Okay, I'm going to Google right now. Por ejemplo, si practicas tú sola, escogiendo alguna conversación, algún tema, si te parece muy fácil, temas básicos, puedes escoger otro tema que es un poco más complicado. Por ejemplo, ver las noticias en inglés, ok. Escoger una noticia, escoger tal vez algún, no siempre tiene que ser video, también puedes leer artículos, hay en CNN, muchísimos. Entonces escoges, los lees y dices, ok, voy a hacer mi resumen. Entonces vas a decir, ok, ¿cómo es que se decía voluntad? Ay, no me acuerdo, ok, voy a buscar. ¿Cómo es que se decía tenía que ser? Ay, no me acuerdo, ok, voy a volver a buscar. Entonces, vas a pasártela más en el celular que hablando, puedo
Ujú.
imaginar, ok, porque hay cosas que nos olvidamos y está bien, es parte de, pero entonces, como ya lo has googleado, ya la siguiente vez vas a decir, ¿cómo se decía esto? Ah, sí, ya, era will, voluntad era will. Ok, perfecto. Entonces, así vas a saber en qué estás fallando y vas a reconocer tus propios errores o tus propios, no errores, sino tus propias faltas que puedas tener. But yes, so you have a lot of sources. So it's up to you which one are you going to use. I recommended what it works for my students, but as I told you, each student has a different form of learning, and
Mhm.
it is okay. Okay, that's good. But the important is that you already have the grammar, so you have to do everything with it. Okay, you
Okay.
are able to do everything. It is a wide word. Okay.
Okay, Miss. Thanks a lot.
Okay, don't worry, Rosario. So don't forget listening this audio or finding articles in CNN. The news could be scientific articles and summarize and give your comment about it. For I guess we have classes tomorrow, right? Because we didn't have one class this week.
Yes, Miss. We have one class to repose. Yes.
Okay, it could be at 9. There's no problem for me.
Yes, Miss. I am available tomorrow, so at night it's okay. It could be
All right.
8 if you want. Yes, 8 or
Okay.
10 at night. Yes.
Could be at 8 p.m. please. Okay.
Yes, Miss.
All right. Thank you, Rosario. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Miss.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.